What's going on, y'all? What's going on? We're doing it early. We always got to improvise at certain times. This is one of those days coming in early Sunday morning. Got a little picnic to go to today. Doing my normal live time. So I just had to move it on up like we do. We adjust. We always have a good time. I know people come on in who's available. Just a last minute shift. But today's conversation is definitely one of those things that I kind of anticipated having this conversation, but then just so much happened in between, I forgot, just personally and just even with Colorado, it's kind of like, dude, I already talk about that because I kind of wanted to talk about it. I said, I'm going to push it back to live so we can have really time to dig into this. And I think that this is definitely the best time to talk about it versus me just doing a video because it gives us an opportunity to elaborate, including you all's input as well as what I have to say. But we got a lot of things going on, and this summer is finally here. It's June, and we know how fast June go. For y'all who want to rush it, I don't want to rush because we got other stuff in life we gotta get done. We don't rush like just for football because we got other stuff. Most of us do at least. So this thing moving. I mean, we June. I remember it was January. We was getting ready for this. I remember when they first went into spring, and then it's like we already into summer workouts, and everybody's like, I can't wait to get to the fall workouts. I'm like, you can, because once June is over, you jump to July, and then boom, you're in August. And if it's anything like last year, the season went by so quick that it was like, oh my goodness. But by the time we got halfway through the season, we was in denial. We was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe the season's already over. Like is we already at this point where we anticipated this thing and here it's coming gone. So that's one thing I remember about last year. Like all the anticipation that we have is gonna come. It's just a matter of time, and it's showing that it's moving fast. 6 months has already gone by from the beginning of the year, from the time we ended last season to everything. So much has happened from the end of the season. Like players left that we expected, players left that we didn't expect. We got players that we expected. We got players we didn't expect, and Colorado is a new team. Now, as far as the topic is concerned, we just gonna get right into it. I had a topic like why they want Colorado to lose, but that's just a typical. But really, what it is from a perspective of, I guess, a hater or what. It's different classifications. I've already broken down. You got haters, you got people who just competitive. They want to see you lose because you're going against their team, or they're just competitive in a way. They just want to act like their team's the best and your team is, whatever. So they just want to have some barbershop talk, nothing personal. So you got different people who just like to talk junk for fun. That's their outlet to just argue about nothing. It don't really mean nothing to them. It definitely the conversation ain't hitting on nothing, but it's just entertainment to them. They're stimulated. But in reality, we got a lot going on here as far as with Colorado. I mean, Colorado is a team that's a threat. I could have easily said that. Colorado is a threat. People say, "Oh, 4-18, like that's so elementary to still be talking about 4-8. But the reality is a whole different team. We said 100,000 times, but they are a threat to the system in itself. Because if Colorado has any kind of success, the tradition that everybody's built upon, the foundation they built upon, the old good old boy, what I call good old boy system. And I ain't trying to make it what you mean, but I mean the good old boy system as far as football coaches is, hey, you go be the water boy, you go get some mocha lattes. I mean, you do whatever you can, you be assistant of the assistant. You go about working your way up the ranks, grad assistant, super duper grad assistant, and then you might be assistant position coach. Then I don't care if you have to go to Division 4 to start off, and you hopefully progress and to be a leader, and then you move up up to a higher level. And that's the game. I go Division 4, they don't even exist, to get opportunity. So they would go to, coach there. Then hopefully they go Division 3, Division 2. Hopefully they move up. And then they just work their way up. And they good, they might crack into Division 1. They might crack into FCS. And that's really great. Like, that's like the top. And then only the great get to FBS or a good FBS. Everybody's striving to get there. And when they seen the guy cut the line, it's like, oh, he just get to cut the line. How dare he? Because he think he all that. He just a celebrity. We want to see him lose because he need to go through the coaching fraternity as we have. He need to learn the craft. He need to pay his dues, but he gets to cut the line. He gets to cut the line. Like, why does he get to cut the line? So that's really where probably 90% of his hate coming from. Everybody's my race. That first thing first. What's going on? Y'all come in, make sure y'all like and share this thing. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure y'all subscribe. We just getting this thing going. This man has cut the line. I can read their minds. How dare he gets to just jump straight to FCS, FBS with no coaching experience just because he don't know what he's doing. I'm the one who's been coaching. So what has he played? I actually know the craft. I actually went through every stage. People don't like that. People don't like that. And maybe, an extension of this, maybe I do inspiration motivation to really dig into that psyche. Because it happens at y'all jobs if you got one. Or whatever job you in, that's the psyche. We'll get more into that. People don't want to see people expedited past them. They don't want to see that. That reveals so many insecurities, and it brings up jealousy. So when you look at coaches who attack Coach Prime, it becomes a sore point to all coaches, and they all rooted against him. I think the media just love a good point anyway. What's going on? Salute. Come on in, leave a comment. Leaving this note here. Come on in. I know it's early, definitely earlier than what we normally do. But hey, y'all coming in. So we have some good times here early. What's going on? So I hope y'all understand that. I know I'm one of the people who what's going on. We talk about these things, and there's so many different angles to look at it. And the reality is, it's more than one thing going on. But I think it's all really tied to that. This man, if he just cut the line and succeed like that quick, he really violates the whole ideology of what people say. You got to build a program. It's going to take him 5 years to get 5 wins, and then maybe his 8th year, even though he's gonna be in another school because he don't got lost in so many years, he's gonna finally get 8 wins in his 5th year, his 10th year, and then he's gonna start winning, and then he's gonna start getting better recruits. That's your system. That's your timeline. And God forbid, that's what they say, that his timeline actually overrules what their timeline is. God forbid that, because their whole philosophy, their whole infrastructure is destroyed. Their whole mindset, everything that they've known about their career path or their career in general. And then not only is it destroyed, but now you got to figure out the new way without having the blueprint to do it, because you have sewn in, you have bought in to, it's not nothing I can do. I just got to go through the 30 years, 20 years or whatever. And then you got to anomaly come up every now and then. A young dude who shoot to the top, maybe because he knew somebody and they don't like them too, but they came through somebody who did it. They may be somebody's son. We've seen that. Somebody's son or somebody's brother, and they kind of just move right through the system because their dad has already been a legendary coach. So people are jealous of them, but they respect the fact that their dad did it. But when you're a guy who come with no ties, you just come with your celebrity, you just come with your reputation, and you use that, they can't leverage that. So you can leverage what they call nepotism. You can leverage relationships, but you can't leverage just a brand because everybody didn't have the opportunity to build that brand the way he had. He had the opportunity to build his brand, Coach Prime, at the highest level. He had the opportunity to build his brand at, with the spotlight, with the cameras. He has an unfair advantage, right? That's what they're going to say. So when he gets to the top, he leverages corporate relationships. He leverages personal relationships, resources in a way that a lot of coaches, no matter how long they've done it, even at some of the higher levels, the Power Five, can't do it. They can't replicate that. They only can replicate the system that they created. They only can replicate, start at the bottom, become the second string water boy, go next to be assistant gatekeeper, go get the crash dummies out and put the sleigh up and just really just slave from the bottom. And that has nothing to do with football. That just has to do with, your rites of passage. It's like a fraternity. It's a football coach fraternity. And you up here with us, and you're not part of the fraternity. Right? Oh, yeah. We get somewhere now, our jizzle. Because people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear this. They want to run around and talk about how racist this thing is. Well, you tell me how racist it was when we were surrounded by other black coaches. You tell me. You tell me. When he got what's his name? Robinson, Coach Robinson, Eddie Robinson. He wasn't related to the Eddie Robinson. He got the same name. Everybody said that was his son, but that one. Eddie Robinson, one of the greatest coaches of SWAC history. And the Eddie Robinson showed up. He used to be in the NFL. He would have been the guy if it weren't for somebody like Coach Brown, because you barely have NFL coaches come back and coach. But then Deion came back, Eddie George came back, and it's like, oh, so Eddie Robinson, his little feelings. He throwing fits, he making comments, and all the fits and comments still got his butt whooped. So all he can do is not shake the man's hand and go say that man ain't SWAC. And then Deion, typical Deion fashion, who is SWAC? If I ain't SWAC, that went viral. They can't do nothing with this dude. He got too much wit and too many resources to flip anything you throw at him, especially at that level. So you saw all of that kind of stir up right there in the SWAC. SWAC black colleges. He still didn't get along with them. So what's your excuse now? What you hiding now with the racism? Racism ain't the answer for everything. You need to get over that. It ain't the answer for everything. It's the answer when it's the answer. But it ain't the answer for everything, because it surely wasn't the answer when it was with all these black people and they were crucifying them, including the people at Jackson State. It was a similar thing. See, I like y'all. I like y'all participating because I didn't plan on saying this, and that's how I really operate. I can have notes, but y'all really stir me another direction, because that was his problem at Jackson State. He was disrupting the system. He was disrupting how the SWAC operated. As a black man, he was disrupting it. He was a problem there too. They were ready to run him off because he was saying, why are we playing these bowl games and wasting money? Why the colleges ain't doing right with the money? He was exposing too much stuff, and his spotlight was too big. His microphone was too big. You saw when Ed Reed tried to do it. They hurry up and ran him off. Hurry up and ran Ed Reed off. He didn't have the kind of charisma and the support. They ran him off. But he tried to do something similar, that I'm going to fix Bethune-Cookman. Too many issues. Too many roaches and rats in dark rooms. And when you put that spotlight on there, you ruffle feathers. So he did it at Jackson State. They were breaking into cars, breaking in his office. He actually had a platform to report it. Everybody else suffered in silence. He said it become national. They mad at him for not keeping it in the family, not keeping it quiet. he exposed all their insecurities, all their issues that they had, and publicly they didn't like that. That's what a disruptor does. You think disruption is about color. Disruption is about the system itself that's in place, the power structures that don't benefit the people as a whole. And a disruptor come in and say, what is that over there? And he actually has the platform to expose it. It's a threat. Even on a little bitty SWAC, what they say, high school, college level, disrespect for D1. They put people in pros like everybody else, not the same rate, but they are D1. They are FCS. They ain't good enough. They ain't good as the higher FCS. Y'all scared to play us because the HBCU want to stay in the bubble. Deion Sanders wanted to get out the bubble. He wanted to actually get out the bubble. If he had stayed, that would have happened because it would have got tired of whooping on SWAC, but then they would have fought him on that. So they would say, our tradition is stay in the SWAC. We don't want to go play other competitive teams. We want to stay in the SWAC. We want to keep our black. We pro black, 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 black. And he wasn't want to be limited by that. So they bumped heads. Boom, boom, boom. Then he said, why go play and get whooped by these teams for and keep just crumbs? You spend all that money to get out there to go get whooped and come back with a little money, and our egos and our bodies tore up. He was bucking against everything that was done, trying to right size it. And they didn't want it. In the meantime, he was whooping everybody behind. And they were getting jealous about that. You just got more talent. Yeah, he the most prolific coach, the most popular coach. Yeah, he's gonna attract players that the other coaches can't. His program, he chose one of the better programs historically. The facilities, that stadium bigger than what they had in Boulder, the twice as big down there. The huge stadium that go all the way back to the good old days. They ain't building out on their campus. They wanted their own stadium. They didn't want to work with him with his stadium. They like, we're gonna build a stadium. The city, they fought over that. Nothing he really wanted was gonna happen. It's definitely not at the rate he wanted. They didn't have the resources, and they really didn't have the people who had his back like that because he was too busy divided. Some people wanted to be with him. Some people wanted the buck. They wanted the benefits, but they didn't want the change to come with it. Fast forward to Colorado, where you want to throw racism up. It's the same doggone thing. The difference is Colorado's AD, he had a good AD at Jackson State too that he got along with. But when he comes to over here in Colorado AD, he had a bigger basket of resources, a historic program that he could leverage, more money for him and his coaches, more facilities. He was trying to build an indoor. He built a turf field. He wanted to build a little top over another of his field, makeshift indoor facility. He redid the weight room. He redid the locker room. He did all that, but it was never going to match what Colorado already had. And instead of bumping heads trying to get that kind of stuff done, he said, I'll leave all that. Let me go ahead over here. That was the right thing to do. Because people want to get emotional about it. They the main one bucking against him. That's what was going on. Now, somebody said they had to start, probably literally, right? And then you say Nick Saban saw it coming and went home early. Well, you know, Nick Saban, you forget him and Coach Prime had conversations. So, you know, they ain't going to tell you all they talked about. Every time he said they did commercials, which was often, you know, at least once, twice a year, they doing commercials together and they spending hours, the whole day together. That's like a mentorship luncheon that you automatically get and you don't have to pay for it. They exchanging ideas, but you also got to remember Nick Saban making a comment when he was at Jackson State. Everybody made like that was racist. He saw the times changing when he was at Jackson State, able to get players like Travis Hunter. When he was at Jackson State, he was able to get top quality players. So he knew he was going to get even more top players when he went to Colorado. So the writing was definitely on the wall. Once you get a Power 5 opportunity, he already had proof of concept. Nobody's talking about that. He already had proof of concept of what he's able to do by what he was able to draw into Jackson State with less resources, less prestige, and he still was able to pull 4 and 5 stars in his second year of coaching for a full actual season. It didn't take 5, 10 years being a reverse water boy. It didn't take none of that. All of that was possible. And that if that ain't writing on the wall, only the bozos, the clowns couldn't see that. Anybody who know football, far as building a program, coaching, they know exactly that isn't supposed to happen. They know that isn't supposed to happen. So they were scared. He was at Jackson State, but they weren't threatened fully because it's like, well, we always got the money and the facilities and the history that can get most players. But once he on an even playing field, far as having those same things, that's a danger. Then you look at now he's running into the collectives and all of the funds to be able to, not the NIL, but just having the funds to be able to buy players now. So that's the thing. They've been doing it, but now it's like overboard and it's suspected. So now he struggled against that. He's not on a full even playing field until he had the money to do that. But he got plenty enough resources, way more than he had in Jackson, that he's clearly leveraging, which is relationships, exposure, and that kind of really balances out. Most schools only got money. I can go over here and get an extra 100,000. I can just come over here and I get to work with Warren Sapp, and I'm well off, and my mom loves him. So he has so many more things that he can leverage. It just as long as he got the resources and as long as he has the facilities, he still can beat 8, 9 out of 10 people. Now his challenge is, okay, how do I beat the elite schools with the money? So that's his next stage. But he's showing you I can recruit at this level. I can win at this level. I'm walking y'all down. I ain't gonna take me 5 years. I'm walking you down fast. I went from 1 year with a dried up portal to the next year with a better portal and better high school class. What you think coming next? Especially if when we win. Why must Colorado lose? Why Colorado must lose? That's what we're talking about. For the sake of the people who want them to lose, they gotta lose. We ain't talking fans. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, like we see here. Also, our sponsor, Tangler Box. Make sure y'all check out the Tangler Box. We talked about it last season. We got a few people in here who can testify. Having that Tangler Box can save you a lot of money, save you a lot of headache. We got them ESPN games and they want to do 20-minute late starts and pushing back. We can easily just jump ourselves over to one of the other channels that's going to start. Channels nobody had, ESPN U, ESPN News, and start on time. We know they're going to start on one of them bootleg channels. We also had that Pac-12 situation last year where Tangler Box definitely helped out. And outside of sports, pay-per-view, HBO, Showtime, all of it included. All the movies, probably within like a month or so, between a month and 2 out the movie theaters, you got it on your box. You got all the TV shows you grew up watching. You just search it. Over like 100,000 movies. Y'all want this Tangler Box. Make sure y'all go ahead, text Cable Cutter to 404-500-8451. I'm going to tell you, it's about $2.99. That's what it is. It's $2.99. You paying that cable in 2-3 months. Don't play with it. Be for real with yourself. You're paying cable. You're paying $300 in 2-3 months. This is a one-time fee for you to have all that. I don't know why everybody on here ain't ordering it. I don't know how everybody ain't got one. It's a one-time investment. Even if you had cable, I don't know why you don't have it. I took it to my grandma's house when her cable got cut off. You can take it on the trip with you, just like Fire Stick. It's the most versatile thing, and I think it's better because it's easier to set up. It's easier to access. It's 3 boxes. You got live TV, movies, TV series. Boom, you upload it. Update it. Once or twice a week. You can't beat it. Get you a good, strong internet connection. You good. You got channels all over the world. I can watch local channels, but I can be y'all. What I can say? What city you in Detroit? I can watch your local news on there. Yeah, it's the real deal. Make sure y'all check that out. That's my advertisement for the day. Back to the issue at hand. Said Nick Saban couldn't harbor all the talent. I think Nick Saban was at that point anyway because of the transfer portal was clearly showing. It really had nothing to do. It was just the timing is impeccable. he's coming in as prime, and the tool that really makes him uh, uh, have advantage. He don't have experience advantage. He don't have the program advantage. But how that transfer portal changed right when he came in is really working to his favor, because that's how he worked it. He got social media, he got charisma, he got a brand, he got a reputation. And so a kid can be like, well, I'm gonna go over there for my last year because I want to play with Shador. I want to play with Coach Prime. The portal is built for people like Coach Prime. Whoever can recruit, they gonna get these players out of portal, because they gonna say, hey, then why you over there ain't getting the due that you deserve? Or why you over there on the bench? We need linemen, or we need this. Or you gonna be more valued over here. You're gonna get more insight over here. I remember that video Ed Reed showed. The place was a mess. They didn't have the decency to try to clean up, seal it up. Yeah, I mean, because they were arrogant. They've been doing this for a long time. They don't even know how to be scared. I mean, you can get away with messing up money like that. Private school, Bethune Cookman, private school. You know, so you say they don't get all the state funding, but they get a lot of money as far as, you know, cash, and they weren't handling the money right. And the sports, they said the players were washing their own clothes. They were washing their own uniform. That's unheard of. College, Division I college. They washing their own clothes. All that came out. It's been going on, but he gave it opportunity to come out. They ain't had nowhere to store their equipment. They say it was stored up in a shed. Grass out there ain't cut, all that. They clothes getting mildew on it. They ain't even have no locker room. How you guys don't have a locker room? They didn't really have a practice field locker room. Ed Reed was willing to pay for that stuff. Forget uniforms and all that. They would travel. Coach Prime had to get them a place to stay. They was very hobo-ish, very, very impoverished, where they would go on trips. Coach Prime let them come to Jackson State when they was going to, I think, go play old. They was going down to Mississippi to play somebody, and they stopped through, and he let them use his practice field and fed them and took care of them. Nobody talk about that kind of stuff. That's ridiculous. You can't even get a man. You can talk about him like a dog. Give him credit for when credit's due. He's taking care of his fellow conference. These are rivals. He let them, he practiced early so they can practice. They use his practice field, his facilities. He took care of them folks because their money was funny. And that's unheard of. He ain't got to do that. That's your rival. It ain't like it's not your rival. It ain't like, oh, it's a lower level school. I'm my little brother. This is you play them. And you doing that. Their money was funny. The situation wasn't funny. And there's no way they could compete, because you can't draw quality talent like that. You can't draw quality talent like that when you don't get them the resources they need. So I mean that's what was going on. Ed Reed, instead of like working with him, they ran him off. Like that's gonna help the situation. Yeah, yep. Travis was going to FSU, and imagine if they had him. I mean, FSU been doing pretty good. I don't know if they're gonna let him play both sides, but I'm just saying he would have been another piece to a pretty decent last few years run. And especially last year, their quarterback situation jacked them up though. What's going on? Got an early sermon, I guess. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Y'all, my inspiration motivation will be my real Sunday. You know, on Sundays, my inspiration motivation is the closest thing to a sermon you're gonna get. I always do that on Sunday afternoon, you know, later. And sometimes that roll over into Monday, you know. But hey, Sunday afternoon. Oh yeah, the HBCU people is in the building and say if Prime wins this year and year 2 is over. It was, you know, he is. They're gonna have to throw every kind of almost Jim Crow looking stop. And I use that term not for racial. I'm gonna use that for when you throw stuff at people that is dead wrong, and everybody let it happen and they know it's wrong. That's what I mean. Like it's gonna be obvious cheating to stop these boys, and somebody ain't gonna have to say no, not today. Really not about just any black person. Yeah. Hey man, whoever in the way, they gonna take the strays, and they gonna send the black people that you to my black. They gonna send them to attack you. Look at Jim Novell. They instead of to my Jim Novell, this is garbage CSU team. They do crap last year at their level, and they act like they on the level of Colorado. They these talking junk. The wife talking junk. Colorado gonna beat them to sleep. They're gonna beat them to sleep. They didn't have the pieces last year. That's why they hung around. That's why they hung around. They're gonna beat them to sleep. There's something legit behind him. The point that the college probably be that they can't control him because his brand was developed outside. His brand was developed outside of college football. They made him. They can break him. They didn't make him. They can't break somebody they didn't make because he can leave and he's still gonna operate. For Valley State. There you go. We got some Georgia folks. What part of Georgia you in? I actually went down to Albany a couple years. Wow, I didn't know that. What you didn't know, Grizzle Bethune-Cookman too. Yeah, there we go. Appreciate the super chat. Don't hey y'all don't hold back from your super chat. Throw some at the screen. Prime has given the blueprint on how to attract and entice NFL players to coach, and has invested in the recruiting department. So coaches, yeah, I mean, that's for the ones who want to coach. That's for the ones who want to coach. I mean, it's some who want to coach, but they've been blocked out. So he's knocking the door down for sure. I've heard that Ray Lewis may want to coach. That'll be interesting. I know he's a football mind. I heard that Cam Newton wants to coach. I can see that because he's been doing flat for so long. Just like Coach Prime started off with youth league. I think the longer they do that, the more they feel like I can do this. They know the players. The players want to play for them. They may get Cam Newton a shot. I wouldn't disrespect him to go as far down as Division II, but I definitely think one of those HBCUs or one of those Division I FCS programs should give him a shot. Just like they start off Coach Prime, because he's showing he know how to build programs and he got the desire and he has the he can pull in some resources too. Nobody's gonna be another Coach Prime. He is a unicorn, whatever that word. Coach Prime is a unicorn. He is a guy who brings a unique set of skills and relationship and resources and desire and wisdom and personality and people skills that's a rare combination. I mean, he's good with people. He know how to be a showman. He know how to be a disciplinarian. He know how to be a inspirer. He knows how to do all of these things, which goes well with coaching, as well as being a good face for an organization. And some people got football wit and stuff like that, but they don't have the patience. They don't have the desire to be that showman or politician. They just straightforward. Ed Reed like that. Ed Reed was more of the guy who, I know football, I got the heart, but man, he gonna cuss him. His presentation was not good, so he gonna bang on stuff. He didn't know how to handle he act like a football player. Prime has that articulation. He has that analyst component. You ain't gonna see Coach Prime going off. You see him going off in the conference being direct, but he has those media skills, and he's media trained above media training, and he worked in media. So it's hard to get those set of skills unless you go to Coach Prime School of Coaching. Maybe you need to start grooming coaches because he can show them how to use it in their own way. Then it made me. They can't break him. You can't break him. He is definitely Cassius Clay. I think he models himself off of Cassius Clay as far as like in his generation of being just vocal and outspoken and confident and competitive, but also having that other personality behind the scene. Because Cassius Clay was a character. I mean, Muhammad Ali was a character, but he's a different person. A lot of these people are different people. That's just that face they put on for branding and just for just getting themselves up. Absolutely get them likes up. Get them likes up. Make sure y'all support the sponsor at the bottom. Scrolling, you see it moving. Tanggula box It's the real deal. I got one, and there's people right up in this room who got one. And some people talk like they was gonna get one, but didn't. But you're missing out. You're missing out because it's the real deal. If you got a fire stick, you think you got something. Tanker box is the real deal. It is what fire stick probably wish it could be. And as far as just the smoothness of how it operates. Greg, have you seen how naysayers are slowly changing minds? Yeah, we sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot with this. I'll be wanting to bet, but I'm like, you know what? Let me focus on what else I'm doing. How many wins they giving CU? I told y'all that, man. It's like Vegas is shifting. Like you had to jump in early. Vegas will change their mind early. Like you caught them a couple months ago, you finna get rich. Now they cutting down on your ability to catch them off guard because well off showing some clips, man. Like I don't know, it tripped me out, Rizzle, Jizzle. Like they got people saying Colorado suck. Yeah, they got all these issues. What is the difference between this year and last year? So what's your projection? 10-2. I said 10-2 a long time ago. You dogging them out and saying 10-2. Like this weird. Like that's to tell you what kind of season it is. Like you the main ones attacking Colorado. You say 10-2. You give them more credit than the people who support them. You can't dog them out and say 10-2. That's pretty good. That means they can slip up, have a close game or two, and that's really the floor. That's not the ceiling. It's not the ceiling because they can mess around and run it. You know they can run it if you give them 10-2. And you underestimate them. You talking about their weaknesses from last year, talking about this year, but they 10-2. Then you actually gave them credit. They're gonna be a problem, guys. And we can go there if y'all want to. If y'all want me to go there, we can go there. Cause that's what I do. I ain't see when you come here, you ain't getting the fluff, you're not getting the political correct, you're not getting them trying to cover my rear. I'm not trying to cover my rear. Oh yeah. Well off been around. Let's just say that. Well off ain't just got here. Well off really took off that last season. They kind of started that second season, which was the first full season. Prime moved Bucky. Bucky was kind of flying in and out, but then Prime is the one who see a lot of people. Coach Prime is the one who made Bucky. Bucky didn't really want to do it. Bucky had his own stuff going on. He was just kind of doing it to help out his brothers, but he wasn't locked in. Prime told him that last season, I'm gonna move you up here. You're gonna do it full time. That's when Bucky went from like he all right to that last season at Jackson State. Bucky went up to like 50, 60 subscribers like that. See, I've been with Coach Prime. I should have had Greg said it back then. I guess I ain't have enough sense to do it. Lord help my sense. Because I easily could have been doing this with Jackson State. But, I guess I came right on time. I started last season. And I didn't even start the whole time he came. I didn't start in January or whatever. I should have. But I waited to right for the season, and I was strategic about it. I got to work with my time and my schedule, my life, and I'm working it. But, yeah, that's what's going on. Bucky kind of like his dad told him, hey, Coach Prime is the one who had the vision, not Bucky. And I ain't knocking Bucky. Bucky will tell you, his dad not only, he was still finding his way. He was doing music, he was doing clothes, and he was doing social media. His dad saw it in him and said, hey, you good at this social media thing. Why don't you come over and help us? I don't think he fully saw it, but he trusted his son, and his son took it from there. And then Bucky is the reason for people like us. Because I know he inspired me because I'm like, that's a new type of reality TV type look. Now, of course, I can't do it like he's doing because I don't have the access. But you see, reach the people. Darius was running with Bucky back in Dallas. He pulled him in that last year. Neely got pulled in because Neely was already there. But he took Neely to the next level because Neely started saying, well, shoot, this really, really works. Because they all kind of really got running. Even though Neely was already doing his little show, that was like a local thing. Bucky taken to the next level, it put the spotlight on all things Colorado. So even the people who was doing HBCU stuff like I'm doing now, they took off when Prime was there, and then the number went down when he left because they stuck with it. But everything about Coach Prime brought all the attention to all the HBCUs and all the HBCU content creators. I didn't become an HBCU content creator specifically. I didn't even become a Coach Prime content creator to once they came to Colorado, but I was there. Don't act like I'm brand new. I was there. Greg said it, been there. He just wasn't saying Greg said. He probably should have, but he didn't. Because my platform will be a lot bigger because I've been had something to say. Everything I'm saying right now, like I say, it's identical. It's just a bigger stage. And I knew that it was going to be identical. When we, out of all places, came to Colorado, I'm like, oh, okay. So this is just going to be a different monster, but it's going to be the same monster with a different storyline. They was already throwing, he going with all these white, because it is. It's like one of the whitest areas. And Denver's one of the white, and Boulder's even one of the whiter. So you can't say Coach Prime wasn't sent. Yeah, he was sent. He's one of the blackest guys as far as cultural. He's not running around talking about black, but he act black and he does black things. He's not trying to hide his blackness with culturally. He ain't gotta talk about black. He ain't gotta wear Black Lives Matter shirt. He live it every day. He represents what he believes. He don't discriminate, which nobody should really, but he's unapologetically himself. He is. He's always been that. And that includes his blackness. It includes everything else too, but it includes his blackness. So I was like, oh, them people going to have to go through a culture shock because Coach Prime going to come up in that band himself, and he ain't going to let nobody tell him that. He say he old and he not changing, and he going to bring all his friends. Them people going to have to adjust. And they have so far because he come with a lot of benefits. And one thing about people, people talk about racism. The biggest racist in the world would love you. He can keep being racist with everybody else, but he gonna love you if you bring benefits. And that's what people don't realize. It's all ignorance. The biggest racist in the world, you say he doesn't want you because of your money. He will drop his racism for you if you bringing something to the table, whether it's business, relational. And we've seen that in entertainment for years. Some of the biggest racists, but they love being with these people because you can't override value. Value is the great denominator. Coach Prime brings a lot of value wherever he goes. Y'all like, here we don't want him. Anybody, they lying. And the only reason they looked over him because they were ignorant. And then they seen what he's doing in Colorado. So his value. If Colorado doesn't want him, somebody's going to want him. Sorry if it's in it blinking. I'm about to go there. This internet want to be ignorant at the wrong time, but we wrapping this thing up. Oh yeah, that's why I said I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there because Colorado. What makes Colorado dangerous is last year. Last year makes Colorado dangerous. Yeah, Cam Newton will be good, preferably on the East Coast. I think he'll get his opportunity because Coach Prime is definitely opening the door. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on some of these comments before I go there. I'm gonna go there and then we getting off. I'm gonna end with a go there. I'm gonna say y'all ready for this boom. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Matter of fact, I appreciate y'all subscribe. How about that? I'm just gonna go ahead and speak it into existence. Let me see what they say. Somebody, Coach Neely, I messed up here. Defensive line, put down my bets 3 months ago. You finna get paid. You bolder than me. You did the right thing. Enjoy your content. Why don't you teach to collaborate with Big Chico? Buff and Prime. Yeah, I haven't done. I don't think Buff and Prime do collabs. They got their own collab, built-in collab. I think Chico. I don't know if I probably talked to Chico on. I don't know if I ever outside of just comment on stuff. I have never talked. I ain't talked to a lot of these guys until recently. I talked to B Watts. I think I talked to Dave Talks Buffs like during the season last year. Rob the man, just coming across in these, and we done a couple shows together with B Watts. I have never talked to Colin. John Liquid. I haven't talked to none of these guys. It's interesting. We all kind of overlap. Some people kind of lock in with each other, have maybe through the backdrop. I didn't start off that way, so maybe that's what it is. I didn't know how this thing would go, but no, then maybe I go to a game, we'll see each other, but I haven't interacted with him. Now, my boy B Watts know how to get with everybody. He's a super duper. He's new to the thing, but he know how to collaborate. He know how to. He's super networker. He know how to do it. I mean, he's a veteran networker. I would say he know how to get with people. Um, get them lights up, and we all bring something different. I said it'd be cool if we went to a game, we do like a little panel. You know, that would be cool. About a lot of people misunderstand what Brian said. I'm about to get comfortable. Oh yeah, I think he bought there. He bought them grits and he got them ribs out there. Yes, sir. Yeah, B Watch. Yeah, that's a good collaboration. Like I said, he reached out to me. He, like I said, he know how to reach out. That's why you see the collaborations he do have. He's not afraid to reach out, especially with a new platform. And I mean, he go get it, and he gonna do well because that's one thing he do probably better than anybody. He know how to get those collaborations with other content creators on a broad scale, and he's a growing content creator, growing channel. So y'all definitely want to check out B Watts. He's a great collaborator. He's like the Arsenio Hall, or he's like the TV show. He bring you on and he give you, like he interviewing the content creators basically, which I don't think nobody's really did that. Like we've seen people interview the players, we've seen people interview the parents. It's like B Watts and all. He's pretty much connected with everybody. I wouldn't be surprised he'd be with Neely soon. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. So he that's what he's good at. But I'm gonna end this thing like this. This last talking point. Somebody told me to go ahead and go there. If I was a betting man, yeah, man, yeah, I'm a different kind of breed. People, I mean, far as how I work, I don't see football like everybody else. I don't follow football like everybody else, and people got to realize that it's different kind of people out here. I don't spend my time watching football like that. I'm not a fan. Like I don't. I'm with Colorado because I've clearly been with Coach Prime, and I started him with Jackson State, and I like the life correlations with it, and I support him because I see what they're trying to do to him, and that's what attracted me probably more than football. Because football, man, football is weird. Like I've been to conspiracy theories in my day. I posted this thing with all the linemen turned their back and did all this weird stuff, and they said they just let Shador get hit. I mean, I'm not too far removed from being a conspiracy theorist, even though I ain't went there. Like it's weird. I don't see games get thrown. So my relationship with sports is different. Like I'm a fundamentalist. I value sports for what it is, as far as the life skills you can learn from sports from youth all the way up. And teamwork and discipline and working through pain and doing it when you don't feel like it and overcoming adversity, all the life skills you need in regular or everyday life. I like to pull from that in football. That's why I like football, baseball. I didn't play basketball, but sports in general typically do that, especially team sports. Team sports is unique because then you got to draw on somebody else, and they don't do their job, they can mess you up. And that's like life too. Sometimes people want to do individual sports because they're like, I don't want to depend on nobody else. That's a mindset that it can mess you up in life because you ain't always guaranteed to be in that situation. You got to learn how to work with people. And that's a skill and training in itself. Because people can't sabotage you. And I think Coach Prime seen that last year. I think we seen that with the offense last year, how Shador was getting sat, and they're not making adjustments. I think it was a lot of sabotage. And a lot of people pointed out, but I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. But this year, if y'all notice, and I've said this in other videos, that's why y'all better make sure you like, share, subscribe. Because I bring you these kind of talking points. Have you not noticed that Coach Prime went back and got all his homeboys? Like, not just his homeboys back at the crib, the homeboys that know stuff. He went back and got Jason Phillips. Not being who is Jason Phillips? He was at JSU. He also was at other places too. He also was at Houston. He also was in the NFL. He also was in the Canadian League as a player and coach. He also was at Oregon State. He's probably one of the best underrated receiver coaches in college football. He's back with Coach Prime. He was there the first year at Jackson State. Then he left that. The year they made a run, he actually wasn't there. That's when our guy who came with them, what's the young guy named, young coach, who's now the assistant receiver coach, up on the he was assistant coach up on the Brett last year, Bartolone. Then Brett Bartolone went over to the tight ends. Now he's up on the Court Phillips. I forget my guy name. I'm looking at his face. But Coach Prime surrounds himself. And you wonder why people surround themselves with their homeboys. You was it's good old, a family, nepotism. People gotta have people. Have you ever tried to coach a sport or build a business with people who sound good, talk good, but when it actually was time for you to need them, you couldn't trust them? Or they talking behind your back, or they contradicting you, they causing division. You don't really know these people. They may be a good fit, but you don't know them. They don't really know you. It's a hard thing to do. That's what Coach Prime had last year. He had good people. Sean Lewis, the future. Sean Lewis had his own agenda, and he had his own influences, clearly. The good old boy club. Who you going to follow? The good old boy club, who you a part of, or Coach Prime, who's outsider. That eventually was a clash. Then you have Coach, I don't know what I want to say. My brain is slipping. Is it Coach Lewis? Not Coach Lewis, defense coordinator. Looking at his name too. Put him in the chat. He was a good guy, but it just don't mesh. Some people, it's like a relationship. Some people just good, talk good, look good, but all y'all do is bump heads. Let's bump head, Coach Kelly. Right, Coach Kelly. You got to look at the fact. It's all about unity. I was telling my mom about this yesterday. It's all about unity. That's right. We know. Because we can just look at the full picture and we know. Coach Kelly. It's all about unity. I want y'all to take that way. And this really inspiration, motivation. Probably kind of talked about it before. Unity. Without unity, you have the best thing ever. You're gonna spend more time bumping heads. You're not gonna operate at full efficiency because you're too busy fighting the enemy within instead of the opposition. You're not able to put your energy out there because you're too busy being distracted, right? That's my mom's favorite thing. Distracted. You're being distracted by your own people can cause you to be less efficient out there. So imagine Coach Prime. This is definitely inspiration, motivation. Preview, review. He's distracted. You out there got teams trying to knock your head off, and somewhere behind closed doors, y'all got all kinds of division and strife. Y'all covering that up. People not playing the games, or nobody explaining why they didn't play. Weird stuff just happened, like when they had Arizona State, and we got rumblings. Well, this doesn't happen. We ain't gonna talk about it. All kinds of stuff will happen, and this stuff happened in the program. But you got all this stuff going on. How do you expect to be able to perform really at the level you need to perform, especially when you already got the odds against you? You don't have the best talent. Working what you got no room to be distracted. You got no room to be divided. Yet, gave an opportunity. These people be jealous, man. Appreciate that. I make my own stuff, eventually, I don't know how I feel about it, but I want you guys to know I didn't say it before, but I guess it's time to say it. I'm gonna be making my own hats and stuff, so I ain't got no excuse to go, do this right here. I got my own hats gonna be coming. Y'all, your boy ain't gonna be wearing the same hat every show. This is all I got, guys. These hats ain't cheap. Somehow these hats ain't cheap. This is my one hat I could find last football season. I just wanted a hat. But your boy gonna be making his own hats. And y'all best to know, Greg said that shirts is coming. Greg said that shirts is coming. I can do whatever I want. I've actually created shirts before. I don't know if y'all know that, but look at that shirt there. I created this shirt during COVID, but I had somebody else make it. So my creativity might just go through the roof. Greg said is, he all these different ideas and things I'll be able to kind of really play with now that I got my own stuff and I know what to do. Because I got the looks. The quality wasn't there. I couldn't control it like I needed. So I might have some stuff for y'all coming up. I might do. But yeah, that he's probably gonna really be out of stock this year because last year it was the only hat because I got it like right before the season because I wanted to have a hat because I started doing my show. I couldn't find nothing. And I think I got this off of like Dick's or something like that. And I didn't have a variety of looks I wanted. Like I wanted to have a different look, but I couldn't find it. What's going on? So now I'm like, shoot, what's going on, Jerry? Now I'm like, forget that. I'm gonna make my own hats. I already got some looks, y'all. I'm telling y'all gonna want what I have. I might have to sell them. I don't know. My time. I pray God what kind of time I have because who knows once you put it out there, everybody. Because I got some hats for y'all. What I want to do for myself that I know I'm gonna do. I already got this is a patch. You know what I'm saying? Patch and a hat. Just in case for y'all to know, it ain't nothing deep. They get a hat and they get a patch, and then they go charge you $40, $50. Right? And I see why, because they got to have the skill and they paying for the equipment. So I'm not saying the price is bad, but the access to this stuff is hard, man. It's hard to find these hats and shirts and stuff that you want. It's hard, especially when they get jumping. Everybody gonna have Colorado or something. I'm gonna have some stuff nobody got. I'm just telling y'all now. It's gonna be nice. I ain't gonna be wearing the same little buff hat. I'm gonna put this in the archives. Man, you cook, man. Welcome back. You cook. The man said you was cooked. You cooked. Don't come here at the last minute tomorrow. You want to cook. You was cooked. Yeah, Prime, he got all his own gear. Prime got all his own gear. But I would say this. Colorado's a very dangerous team, and they know it. Because they don't know what's coming. They don't know what's coming. They act like they know what's coming. They will tell you, well, they ain't got this, they ain't got that's what you hope will happen. I can say the same thing about who they playing, because everybody got their issues. Everybody got turnover. Everybody got coaching changes, especially you good, and the coach is going to move. Or bad, the coach is going to move. Players are jumping in transfer portal everywhere. But the warming up. Yeah. I mean, the merch thing is a whole nother. So, Colorado is going to sneak up on people simply because they just don't. People got wishful thinking, disrespect. Shout out Queen. The disrespect is real, but I'm starting to think it's not disrespect as much as wishful thinking, because like this conversation say, they really need Colorado to lose. I don't know if they fully believe it. Gone. He gone. Whether he off or not, he gone. Hit that like, share, and subscribe like this man said. We here. Let's run them up. We're going to need these platforms. I already told y'all this year because it can get really weird. It can get weird on us. Yeah, he the new face. His players the new face. And anybody who want to be the new face going to come there with him. Even Athens. I'm in Georgia. Athens, every year they got somebody going to jail. Every year somebody killing somebody, getting accident. Every year, I say, I used to say, is Athens cursed? You don't hear about it. Locally, we hear about all. I don't know what they, I know the media is different now too. But growing up, every year somebody, 6 players locked up. 6 players got kicked off the team. They say sold their championship rings. Another player was smoking weed. He didn't pass the test. He got to go to Alabama State. Like, it was like every year it was like major players. And we was like, especially with the last coach with what was my last coach? I'm slipping today, y'all. Before Kirby Smart, um, it was always something, man. Done. Get out the oven, law dog. Hot dog. Don't get him started up. We over, man. This thing is over. He late. They're gonna get him going. It's over. My thing is this. Yeah, Mark Rick. Exactly, Mark Rick. That right there. We don't even remember his name no more. Smart kind of capitalize off of it. But our defense, like you said, how wouldn't our defensive line be dangerous? Tell me how. You got Warren Sapp hand teaching you, literally teaching you hand to hand, man to man, not just how to play. You already know how to play, but just tweaking your skills. Yeah, try it. Teaching you the skills that you need to kind of take your game to the next level. Not just playing. Have you ever played a sport? Have you ever played a sport where everybody's got raw talent and you can beat everybody off of raw talent, but then you play against a team that actually has been coached and your team don't look the same? Your talent only goes so far when you just bigger, stronger than everybody. But at some point, you're gonna meet a guy just like you, and your skill has to get to the point where it can override somebody who may be a little stronger than you, like Warren Sapp talked about with Allen, who just passed down in Dallas. And your skill is what's going to get you over the hump. Your skill is what allows you to compete. If you're going to battle, compete. You may be bigger, stronger, but my skill keeps me in the game. That's what Warren Sapp is bringing to the defensive line. And you're seeing the skill set. We seeing it. We're seeing the skill set. You see the skill set. The skill set, it's going to make our linemen better. Our linemen is going up against this every day. And some people give them a hard time. Plus, don't be foolish. The fact that these people or these players, you're not seeing all of the clips. You're just seeing little snippets. And you say, oh, the defense one. They're showing you what they're showing you. But one thing for sure, the defensive line is sharpening our offensive line because they're going against skill and they're going against talent that's going to get them ready. And only a fool would say that our D-line is going to be below everybody else's D-line, so they ain't really getting sharpened by nothing. The reality is you're going to see, this is going to be the best defensive line, definitely in Big 12. I said it. It's going to be an aggressive defensive line. It's going to be a skilled defensive line, and they're going to be competitive because of the depth. So when you get in there, you ain't got no plays to play off low because you're only in there for a few. And if you mess up, you might not get back in. So you got to bring your A game when you get in there. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a major challenge. The challenge is going to be keeping up with Colorado's depth. Keeping up with Colorado's depth is going to be the challenge for everybody else. When I take one guy off and there's no letdown, or no let off. When you can't let off the gas and you tired. So you best to be ready to rotate your offensive lineman like we rotate our D. Because them boys coming in fresh is different. It's going to be a lot of 3 and outs. It's going to be a lot of 3 and outs. And that why that's dangerous, we've already talked about it. We know the type of offense we have more than Shador, especially with a running game. The defense is only going to be the ceiling for our success because we're not going to be in a lot of shootouts. We're not going to be in a lot of situations where we got to beat everybody 40, 41 to 40. Like, that's not going down. So at the end of the day, clowns that come in, you come in here, that shows you only prove what Colorado is. Nobody's not really caring, they wouldn't show up. Look at it. Look at it. If you're here, but one of the guys you name here say Colorado going 10-2. Matter of fact, two of the guys they just getting off. Maybe they just, now one of the guys is just a straight clown for sure. He don't have no value. He don't know nothing about football. Two of the guys on here actually give Colorado a winning record. So I don't even know why they even say out of just fun entertainment. And yeah, I don't know. Because if you say Colorado going 10-2, or even 8-4, and you knocking them, why are you knocking them? Like, there's no point. But it's all good. It's gonna be a lot more fun during the season when these same people come. Keep it interesting from video to video. Everybody's welcome. Clowns, haters, all are welcome, because that's what keeps it entertaining during the season. We don't want an echo chamber. We don't want just boring. Oh, Colorado did. Once Colorado hit on everybody's head, it's just not fun. And then people call you arrogant then, because you just beating up on everybody, kind of like what they did at Jackson State. We don't just want to beat up on people. We want people to actually think that they're going to win and then beat up on them. We don't want to be bullies, because then they're a victim. Oh, y'all just beating up on everybody. We don't want that. So, like I said, I appreciate y'all coming through. Shout out. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Matter of fact, thank you for subscribing. If you comments, I definitely know you subscribe, right? We got a lot of stuff coming with inspiration, motivation. We got all this good stuff coming. And from day to day, we don't know what's dropping around here. We see a lot of good stuff going on during workouts. And like Colorado's always something exciting. There's always something exciting. If I ignore your comment or don't see your comment, it's probably not got no value really. But I appreciate your projection. What they say, 10-2. I appreciate that. They definitely got to go. I mean, that's a decent season for Colorado. I think anything below that's kind of underperforming for what they have this year. I can't speak for next year. So with that, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. I started early. I got to get out of here and go to this little picnic. But y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all soon.